I am here with our other Mother's Day story. Yeah, I've been reading all morning. I usually read on Tuesdays for everyone, Janet. Uh, and so I thought, okay, let's do the other one in case I don't get a chance because tomorrow is an exciting day. I'm going to see Mima. But of course, by the time you get this on Mother's Day, that'll be over. But by then she will have met, she gets to meet her little baby, her great grandbaby, Yogi. I'm so excited. Okay, so in the meantime, though, we are going to read today's story is called The Burglar. And yeah, it's not exactly a Mother's Day story, but it is about mothers. Okay. Muriel came bounding in from school, bumbling over with excitement. Oh, Mama, what do you think? Why, almost all the girls in my class are going to Jenny's party on Thursday night. Are they? Said Mama, trying hard to be interested, although she was feeling very tired. That will be nice. But that's not all, said Muriel. They've almost all told me that they are going to have the loveliest new dress. Silk and nylon, you know, and pretty things like that. They must be happy then, said Mama. Yes, but Mama, what about me? I can't go in my old dress. It's not very old, said Mama. Well, what about me? I can't go. Why, you have had that dress for your birthday. It was new. But anyhow, dear, I don't think I could possibly make another dress by Thursday. Muriel did not even notice the look of utter weariness that passed over Mama's face at the very thought of taking on another job. Mama, she said, you don't mean to say that I cannot have a new dress for Thursday? Why, I've got to have one. I must. I can't go to Jenny's party without it. What would they think of me? All the other girls with new dresses on and me in that old cotton thing. Of course I must have a new one. The bright, happy look that was on Muriel's face as she bounded into the dining room faded away, and in its place now was an ugly scowl. And the more she thought about her fancied grievance, the darker the scowl became. And gradually she worked herself up into a thoroughly bad temper. I must have a new dress, she cried, stamping her foot on the floor. Now, come, said Mama sternly. It is not becoming for a little girl to behave like this. I don't think you would do it if Jenny were here. I don't care who was here, cried Muriel wildly. Tears were running down her cheeks. Now, Muriel, this is very foolish of you. You must be overtired. Please go to your bedroom and I will bring you your supper later. Muriel stormed out of the room and up the stairs, and some time later Mama went up with a very plain supper. She did not say much, only stopping long enough to put little Jimmy, Muriel's little brother, to bed. He did not bother his head about Muriel's troubles, and he thought it was strange that she had to go to bed so early. An hour passed, and Muriel tried to sleep, but she could not. Her conscience was keeping her from sleeping. She knew she should be sorry for her naughty conduct, but something kept her from saying so. She rolled and tossed and turned on her bed, and another hour passed, and then another, and at last she dropped off into a troubled sleep, and it seemed hardly a moment before she was awakened by a small hand tugging at her nose. It was Jimmy. Sis, I'm frightened. Let me come into your bed, he said. Now, here's Muriel having her major fit. We've all done that. I hate to say it. Muriel sat up sleepily and she rubbed her tired eyes. What's the matter, Jimmy? She said, lifting the shivering little chap up beside her. Oh, didn't you hear it? The noise downstairs. No, said Muriel. I was asleep. What sort of noise? Someone's walking about, said Johnny. Muriel listened. It was a dark night, very still, and a cool breeze came in from the wide open window. The clock in the dining room struck 1, 2. Why, it's 2 o'clock. There can't be anybody about now, said Muriel. But there was just a little while ago. You should have heard it, said Jimmy. Suddenly, Muriel's heart stood still. She seemed to tingle all over. She had heard a footstep in the room beneath her. Did you hear it then? Said Jimmy. Yes, said Muriel. I wonder. Do you think it's a burglar? Asked Jimmy in a whisper. It might be, said Muriel, now frightened herself. What should we do? Said Jimmy. Muriel didn't know what to say. Her first thought was to dive under to the bedclothes, and then she remembered how she once told the girls at school that if she ever had a burglar come to her house, she knew what she would do. So she thought for a moment. There it is again, whispered Jimmy, pressing closer to his big sister. Jimmy, do you know that I'd really like to see a burglar just once? I could tell the girls at school, Muriel said. Would you? I wouldn't, said Jimmy. Will you come with me if I go down? Asked Muriel. I'll look after you. Jimmy was doubtful, but at last he decided to go, and together they slipped out of bed. Ever so quietly they crept to the bedroom door and opened it. Creak went the hinges, so loudly that the two of them nearly ran back to the bed. But they held each other's hands a little more tightly and went toward the stairs. Creak went the first stair. They held their breath, waited a moment, and then went down a little further. Creak went the fifth stair. Again they waited, and then further. Creak went the landing. He'll hear us, Jimmy whispered, growing more fearful. Let's go back. Wait a minute, whispered Muriel, pressing his little hand. We're nearly there. See, there's a light under the dining room door. We must see what a burglar looks like. I may never have this chance again. Oh my gosh. So here they are, creeping down the stairs. Not very silently either. But he won't hurt us? Asked Jimmy. We'll run too fast, said Muriel. They were down in the hallway now, and slowly and ever so quietly they moved toward the door. It was slightly ajar. Muriel pushed it a teeny weeny bit, then a teeny weeny bit more, and a teeny weeny bit more until it was open wider and wider, and at last Muriel thought she could put her head in just to peek inside. Jimmy held her hand very tightly as she peered around the corner. Muriel! Cried a voice, and a pair of scissors clattered to the floor. Mama! Cried Muriel, and they looked at each other. Mama, what are you doing here this time of night? It's nearly 2:30. What is keeping you up? Just a little dressmaking, said Mama. Oh, not my dress, surely, said Muriel. Oh, it is. Mama, I don't deserve it. You shouldn't have stayed up so long. You were so tired. And then she threw her arms around Mama's neck. I'm so sorry, she said, and tears fell fast. Never mind, said Mama. The dress is nearly done now. Let us all go to bed. But what is Jimmy doing down here? Muriel said I would see a burglar if I came downstairs, and now there isn't one, Jimmy muttered, all disappointed. I'm sorry, said Muriel as they went back upstairs, but Mama is surely better than a burglar, isn't she? Said Muriel. Suppose so, said Jimmy. And so Mother Love, forever patient and forever long-suffering and forgiving, triumphs again. And you know, here's a picture of their little family. Mother's love is like that. It's patient beyond what someone could ever imagine. Yeah, moms are like that. Moms are patient, they're kind, they're long-suffering. I know you guys can relate to that. And they usually triumph at the end. Not for themselves, for their children. And that's how God loves us. I hope everyone has a fabulous Mother's Day. I love you, ladies. Have a wonderful time with your family. I hope you get to at least.